Hey everyone, this is D, Movie Man, fellow cinephile, popcorn addict, and emerging film critic, coming to you with reliable recaps, reviews, and reactions. Alright, so I'm coming to you guys with another trailer reaction. Today I'll be reacting to the trailer for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is an adaptation of the play created by August Wilson in 1982. It's directed by George C. Wolfe, written by Ruben Santiago Hudson, and starring Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman in his final film role. Let's get into it.
A one, a two, a you know what to do. This be an empty world without the blues. I try to take that emptiness and fill it up with something. But they want to call me Mother Blues. That's all right with me. It don't hurt none.
Way down south and
Where's the horn player?
I got a friend.
Come on, Levy. You rehearse like everybody else.
I'm gonna get me a band and make me some records. I knows how to play real music, not this jug band shit.
You call that playing music?
I know what I'm doing. Go on and fire me, I don't care.
When I got there, they began to say,
That's to get the people's attention. That's when you and Slow Drag come in with the rhythm part. Me and Cutler play on the break.
Levy, the sooner you understand it ain't what you say, it's what Ma said to count.
We'll be ready to go in 15 minutes.
We'll be ready to go, and Madam says we're ready to go, and that's the way it go around here.
These records are gonna be hits.
please come home to me.
Every colored man in the world got to do his part. I'm gonna tell the white man just what he can do.
They don't care nothing about me. All they want is my voice.
About them songs I give you.
They're not the right songs, but I'll take them off your hands for you.
I got my time coming to me.
You don't know nothing about what kind of blood I got, what kind of heart I got beat here. Come on. Come on!
Wonderful. We got that boy. Good session, Mom. We got ourselves a winner.
Yeah, he did.
All right. So that looks pretty solid. I'm really interested in seeing it. So to start off, Denzel Washington actually had a deal to help produce and adapt 10 of August Wilson's plays into films. That includes Fences, which also starred Viola Davis, and now Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is the second film being adapted and created under that deal. Initially, the deal was actually with HBO, but I guess something changed because last year it's shifted over to Netflix, and presumably they'll be distributing the remaining 8 projects. So, George C. Wolfe is going to be directing this, and for those of you who don't know, George C. Wolfe is a playwright, he is an actor, and he is a director. He's actually won 2 Tony Awards for stage directing. He won his first one for directing Angels in America Millennium Approaches, and he won a second one for his direction of the musical Bring in the Noise, Bring in the Funk. He's directed films like Lackawanna Blues, which I love, Nights of Rodanthe, and The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, just to name a few. And ironically enough, I actually remember him in The Devil Wears Prada. I remember he appeared in a scene where the staff were coming up with ideas for the next issue. And I still remember his face from that scene because, of course, I love that movie. And it's crazy how I remember him from that, but literally had no idea that this man had his whole career in the theater as a director and so forth. So it's crazy how that happened, but I'm so glad to have found that out because it's really cool. So now that I've familiarized myself with his career, I'm definitely excited for him to be on board with this project. Also writing is Ruben Santiago Hudson, who is also a playwright, an actor, and a director, and he's also won national awards for his work, including the Humanitas Award for writing the film adaptation of his play, Lackawanna Blues, which he also had an appearance in. He also received an NAACP Lifetime Achievement Theater Award. And it's crazy because just like George C. Wolfe, I knew Ruben Santiago Hudson from his appearance in a film. In this case, the film was Their Eyes Are Watching God, also starring Halle Berry. And in that film, he played Mayor Joe Stark, which is Janie's second husband. And he had a very memorable performance in that film because his character Yeah, there were some crazy things that happened in that film, but he did such an awesome job. And I also remember seeing him in Lackawanna Blues. Had no idea he had written it. Had no idea he had written the initial play that it was based off of. So I love the fact that these two men who are so well versed and have such extensive knowledge of the stage, of the screen, of directing for the stage, directing for the screen, and the fact that they have worked together previously and they are now coming together again to lend their talents as a director and as a writer to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I just feel like what better way to utilize the talents of these men in a project that started on the stage and is now on the screen, but these men. So it was like the perfect matchup there. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring to this because, like I said, Lackawanna Blues, that was a great collaboration. I love that film, the performances, everything about it. And a big part of that is because of their collaboration together. So I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to bring to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I really have to say that I don't think I was familiar with Ma Rainey or her legacy or her place in music history until maybe like college. I feel like I had heard her name before. Maybe in high school. I feel like I had seen her picture before. I had heard her name before, but I didn't really know who she was. I didn't know about her contributions to music history or just music in general. So it really wasn't until I saw the film Bessie, about the life of Bessie Smith, that I really saw her come to life on screen. And Mo'Nique did such an awesome job. I mean, she was so great in that role. She deserved all her nominations. And I really had such an interest in the character. I wish she had had more time because like just the screen time that she had, she definitely made an impact. That was kind of my initial introduction to the character. So now to see that Viola Davis is making her mark as the same character and looking very, very different from Mo'Nique's portrayal, I'm kind of intrigued to see how Viola Davis's interpretation of Ma Rainey is going to differ from Mo'Nique's, if there are going to be similarities or whatever. And I'm interested in seeing how this aspect of her life is going to be told. It's not a full-on biopic. It's capturing a very specific part of her life. And I'm interested in seeing how Viola is going to interpret that also. Viola Davis is definitely up there as one of my favorite actresses current, and I've actually been a fan of hers for a long time. What's crazy is I still remember seeing her. I was young. But I still remember seeing her in 2002's Antwone Fisher, and she portrayed Antwone Fisher, played by Derek Luke. She played Antwone's biological mother. And there's this scene towards the end of the film where he finally confronts her and meets her for the first time, knowing that she basically abandoned him and left him to be subjected to so many things over the years. And even though I was so young, and I didn't know who she was, basically kind of an unknown at that point, I still remember being so blown away by that scene and feeling, even though I didn't understand everything, I still felt like the intensity of that scene, of what was happening. And she didn't even say that much. A lot of it was just her face. Like she said a few things, but a lot of what carried it was just her presence, really bringing that character to life. And so all these years later, because Viola Davis has been around for 24 years, and it really wasn't until her portrayal of Annalise Keating in How to Get Away with Murder, of course, that she really was introduced to the mainstream. I think that even though she had been around for so long, I think that was kind of the big jump that was needed for people to kind of be aware of, oh, who is this? Who is Viola Davis? And it was kind of similar to Kerry Washington in Scandal. Kerry Washington had already been doing things. She was already somewhat well known, but once we hit primetime ABC, it was game over. And I really appreciate Shonda Rhimes as a Black woman for building these really intricate, interesting stories within these series and putting both of these incredible Black actresses at the forefront as the lead on these primetime shows for everyone to see. And by doing that, introducing them to the mainstream. So I love that from that point on, Viola Davis has only continued to do more and more. And I enjoy so much of her projects. I enjoy her as an actress. And so I'm really excited to see what she's going to bring to the role of Ma Rainey. Because Ma Rainey did not live a boring life. I will tell you that right now. She was like the definition of living out loud. And it's all the more astonishing that she did that because she lived in a time where we, as Black people, the Black community, we did not have a tenth of the rights and the freedoms and the acceptance that we have now. I use those terms loosely because You know, it's not 100%. There are still little cracks in the foundation. However, we have come a long way. So I'm definitely appreciative of that. So it's interesting to see her live that way and navigate life where there were so many limitations and so many barriers in place for us, regardless of success or fame, still trying to navigate what life looks like as a Black person. So I'm very, very excited to see that. Of course, you know, it's definitely difficult watching this and seeing Chadwick Boseman, knowing that this is his final film role, knowing what he was going through during filming. It's tough because we've seen Chadwick Boseman, and outside of him being such a great actor and putting in, you know, great performance after great performance after great performance, just the fact that he was just such a giving person, he was a positive person, the fact that no one had anything bad to say about this man, the fact that wherever he went, he was very mindful as far as how he treated people and how he dedicated himself professionally and so much of that. And so I am kind of having to go into this really acknowledging that he is gone. Although it is going to be tough, it's definitely going to be bittersweet watching this because this is basically his swan song. You know, he passed during post-production back in August. And it's going to be such a strange feeling, you know, knowing that this is it and there are no more after this. You know, that's the last time we're going to see Chadwick Boseman on screen. And that's tough. That's a bitter pill to swallow. However, what I do know is that, not even from the trailer, I don't even have to look at the trailer to know this, but I know that he's going to give nothing less than his best. Because I expect the best from him, because that's all that he showed in all his roles. From 42 to Get On Up, the Black Panther, like everything he did, you could feel that he was putting his all into it. And that's something you can't really say about every actor, if I'm being honest. And I'm thankful that his best was always at the core of every performance. So I don't expect this to be any different. Like I said, it is going to be difficult watching this knowing that he is gone. But it also is going to be another reminder of how much he gave us, how much he dedicated himself, and truly used everything he had in him to serve others and to glorify God. And that's quoting him also. And I'm so thankful to him for all that he has given. And of course, I'll save the rest for the actual review when the film comes out. But just for the moment, just really acknowledging what a gift Chadwick Boseman was to us. So I'm definitely excited to see him, even if it is his last film role. And of course, this being a period piece, which I love, 1920 Chicago, seeing the fashion, seeing the style, hearing the music, soaking up, you know, the sound of jazz and the blues, and can't wait to hear the soundtrack and the music. The music is being done by the legendary Branford Marsalis, American saxophonist, composer, band leader, all around genius as far as music. And I'm so excited to see what he's going to bring as far as the sound and the mood and the feel, the blues. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what he's going to bring to this. I love the feeling of being able to revisit these eras in time and throughout history. So I love that, of course, this film is capturing that and capturing a moment in time of a very prolific artist and a very important artist in music history, Ma Rainey, the mother of the blues. So I definitely will be checking this out. I'll be giving my review, of course. Yeah, so overall, definitely excited to see Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I have no idea why I'm saying it like that. Just in my mind, when I hear the title and just the vibe of this film is just like Ma Rainey's Black. Anyway, moving on. So Ma Rainey's Black Bottom will be hitting Netflix December 18th, and I will definitely be right there with my Fire Stick cranked up and ready to go. So, once again, this is D Movie Man, signing off, and I'll see you at the movies.